amongst many subjects in Africa. We touched on the Sahel. We touched on Nigeria and what's going on in Nigeria. Today, we're also going to be discussing Nigeria because all of the Zionists, all of the pro-Ukraine people, all of the people cheerleading for a war against Iran and Venezuela right now, they're not content yet. They need at least one more war, maybe more, but at least one more. It looks like Nigeria is going to be their next playground if they get their way. So joining me to break all of this down is Mr. Hunde, and he is a Nigerian investigative journalist. He's done exceptional work on various issues in Nigeria. He's the author of Breaking Point, A Journalist's Quest for Salvation in Nigeria's Chaos and the Jungle. And he is the founder of West Africa Weekly. And you may have even seen his reporting in the Gray Zone. So, David, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So just to set the scene, maybe you could explain what all of this chaos is right now that's plaguing the think tanks and the War Caucus in Washington, D.C., because they tell me that there's no genocide in Gaza, but there is a genocide in Nigeria. And I don't know. I have reason to hesitate and believe what they're saying if they're saying there's no genocide in Gaza.
Okay, so I guess there are three key things to understand about this issue. It's best to sort of start from the beginning. So over the past decade and some, maybe decade and a half, there's been an escalating pattern of violence in Nigeria, particularly in the Middle Belt and the northern part of Nigeria. Now, this violence, as you know, a lot of it has been carried out by groups professing to be Islamists. So groups like Boko Haram, groups like the Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP, groups like Ansaru, JNIM, and other groups like that. And while these attacks obviously have targeted people indiscriminately, because I think it's also important to point out that statistically more Muslims than Christians have actually died in these attacks. However, being that these are parts of the country which tend to be more populated by Muslims anyway, there is data showing that the Christians or the animists or other people who are affected by these attacks, has tended to be somewhat disproportionate. Now, that's one thing. The second thing is that in 2019, I was part of a research team that actually worked on documenting some of this violence. So we actually traveled to parts of northern Nigeria where some of these attacks are taking place. We interviewed survivors, we got hold of death certificates and records and all of this stuff. And we put together a report which was published in 2020. That report was called Silent Slaughter. Now, I was a part of that research and documentation project. I didn't necessarily understand the geopolitical importance of that project or what that project was going to be used for. The report was presented to the then U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, and to the then Vice President, Mike Pence. So if you recall, shortly before Pompeo left office, one of the very last decisions he took was to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. That was a direct result of that report. And then obviously Anthony Blinken came in, Joe Biden came in, and one of Anthony Blinken's first decisions was to take Nigeria off that list. Now, so that's the second thing that happened. Now, the third thing, which is what is going on now, is that the US is obviously in the middle of its trade war with China. China controls an estimated 70% of the world's rare earth minerals. And I think we all know that rare earths basically hold the key to future military and economic domination. And as we also may be aware, the US recently has executed a sort of pivot in its geopolitical strategy. So it's pivoting more toward the Western Hemisphere, so toward the Caribbean and Latin America and parts of Africa, which traditionally has been able to dominate, while ceding like East Asia and other places to China, because the world is reverting into a multipolar model. So everyone has their spheres of influence, and the US is trying to maintain its own sphere of influence influence, which will then be used to ensure that China doesn't overtake the US. And unfortunately, as part of this strategy, it just so happens that Nigeria and West Africa have been identified as one of the places in the world that have these rare earth minerals in abundance. These rare earth minerals are cheaply available, and there is not much in the way of local industry that is actually using them. And there's also very little or relatively little local defense capacity to stop anyone from coming in and taking them. So putting these three pieces of information together, what you basically have is a situation where, just like in Iraq or in Venezuela or in Libya or in many places where this has happened before, the people who think of themselves as those who rule the planet have taken a look at this place and have realized that, hey, this place has something that we want, something that we need. And there's really nothing stopping us from taking it. All we need to do is come up with a pretext. Take it. So why don't we do that? So these people who 2 weeks ago probably couldn't point out Nigeria on the map have suddenly realized that there's violence against Nigerian Christians, that there's a genocide against Nigerian Christians. First of all, there is a genocide in Nigeria, but to describe it as a genocide against Nigerian Christians is to miss the point spectacularly, because it is genocide against Nigerians, right? What the areas that are being attacked all have in common, both Christian and Muslims, that those are places that happen to sit on some of the richest reserves of these minerals that everybody wants. So whether you're a Christian or you're Muslim or you're animist or African traditional religion, whatever you are, if you happen to sit on these rich deposits, they want you off. And it just so happens that these Islamists, who supposedly are chasing an Islamic caliphate or whatever it is they claim to be pursuing, have a very interesting habit of targeting only those areas. So basically, they're wiping out entire communities, clearing out entire communities, and people aren't able to come back home. And then those communities, those places that used to be communities where people live, have basically turned into giant strip mines. And nobody really seems to know who is responsible for them, how these minerals are getting mined, how they're getting taken out, who is providing the logistical support for that. There's a whole black economy in Nigeria's north that we are just not aware of. There are planes flying with their transponders turned off, which is a thing that also happens in eastern DR Congo. That happens in Nigeria too. So basically, we essentially have an ungoverned space in Nigeria, which happens to be rich in these minerals. And certain actors, like I guess Ted Cruz, Eric Prince, the usual neoconservative gang, the war hawks, have taken a look at this situation and decided, you know what, currently this is a free-for-all. Everyone is getting something out of this. We want to lock this up for ourselves, right? This is the so-called geological scandal, the African geological scandal, and we want to control it. We don't have to share this with anyone. We can just take it. And, who's going to stop us? So that's what's actually going on here. And unfortunately, if you're not familiar with the geopolitics surrounding this, you might actually think that this is somehow about, some conflict between some group of people somewhere in Darkest Africa. I can assure you that half of the people making these comments and, beating these drums of war, trying to create this pretext, probably up till now cannot point out Nigeria on the map. Probably don't know where it is. If you were to ask them what is Nigeria's capital, they probably couldn't tell you, because they really couldn't care less. There is simply a geopolitical calculation and an economic calculation that has been made, the same as the one that was made in Iraq, in Libya, and in other places, that there is something we want here. If there's not oil, as was the case in Iraq or Libya or Venezuela, then it's gold. If it's not that, there's always something. And it just so happens that Nigeria has all of those things. It has oil, it has gold, it has rare earths, it has everything. It has things that we in Nigeria are not even aware of, but they are. So, unfortunately, we could be looking at a situation where this manufactured pretext, if as you said, they get their way, we could be looking at a situation where Nigeria becomes, I guess, the African Iraq. And something else, I guess the fourth data point that sort of brings this all together really nicely is Where do you think the world's largest US consulate is being constructed? The world's largest, larger than the one in Baghdad, larger than the one in London. It's being constructed.
Yeah.
So that clearly tells you that there is, even before this administration came into office, there's been a sort of multi-year strategy to pivot toward Nigeria, because clearly Nigeria has something that the US government wants, and the US government wishes to dominate Nigeria as part of its sphere of influence, which is not good news for us at all. So, but that's the situation that we're facing.
It's not good news for anyone. Even Americans, it's not good news for, because what do we get out of this? We get another endless war where people are going to get sent to die, and it's going to cost hundreds of billions of dollars, and Eric Prince is going to get billions more dollars, and it's the same old cycle. I was just talking to one of our comrades from Syria earlier, and it's the same story. It's like you have these suspiciously well-connected Al-Qaeda terrorists that take over the northeast of Syria years ago, and it's the oil-rich region, it's the wheat-rich region, it's where they have all of their carbohydrates, agriculture, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Al-Qaeda, these Islamists, they take it over, and seemingly they are only really concerned about taking that portion of Syria over for an extended period of time. Eventually they move into the rest of the country, but they committed horrific crimes there against religious minorities, and they exploited all the resources. And who benefited from it? It was the people backing the Islamists. So I do have a question, though. So there's this claim that keeps being repeated. You brought up the excellent point that there's actually been more Muslims targeted by Boko Haram and other affiliated groups. Disproportionately Christians have been targeted. You mentioned they keep putting out the number 7,000 Christians genocided. Now, they don't give us any sort of time frame as to when this alleged 7,000 Christians have been killed. I've seen some videos of attacks purporting to show Christian churches being stormed, presumably by these Islamist extremists. But do you have any exact figures? Do we have any exact figures on how many people are being killed by these extremists and over what period of time?
Well, first of all, this that number, I think 7,000 Christians a day, is completely pulled out of someone's backside. There's no backing for it whatsoever. And I can say this with some authority because I actually worked on the documentation project where we didn't sort of comprehensively document all Christians who had died, but based on what we had, we were able to extrapolate that over the course of, I think this report covered 10 years. I think over the course of 10 years, it was estimated that as many as, I think it was 20 something thousand Christians, I think it was, according to the report. I stand to be corrected, so feel free to fact check this, but that was what was projected by the report, which, don't get me wrong, is still way too many, and that is an incomprehensible human tragedy, and that is something that illustrates the incredible failure of the Nigerian government, and something definitely needs to be done, something decisive definitely needs to be done about this, right? However, we have seen this before. We saw this with the so-called October 7 thing, where in the immediate aftermath, we started hearing, oh my God, all sorts of stories. Babies were being incinerated and all of those things. And then over the coming few months, we then got to find out that a lot of it was just entirely false. It just wasn't true. We heard this at the start of the first Iraq war, the first Gulf War, where the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador famously went on TV crying that Saddam's revolutionary guards went around picking babies out of incubators and stabbing them with bayonets, and it was this huge emotional event, and it was completely false. He was coached to say that, and that came out eventually. So we've seen these characters pull these stunts before, where there is an atrocity that has been committed, but maybe they feel like this atrocity isn't strong enough to justify what we are trying to do. So we need to exaggerate it. We need to turn it into something that it categorically is not. We need to characterize it as something that it is not. So in this case, you have these supposed Islamists who, for some very interesting reasons, have killed more Muslims than Christians in total, right? Even though they claim to be Islamists, right? And it just so happens that their pattern of killing doesn't follow any statistical model except where there happens to be resource deposits, right? Which is very interesting for Islamists. And then it also happens that these supposed Islamists, where their supply chains are tracked, it always very strangely seems to lead back to a source from outside of the country, right? In some cases, we've seen several instances where villagers who live close to these areas have reported that helicopters piloted by white men have dropped supplies for these Islamists, right? So I'll leave you to think about the obvious implications of that. So first of all, are these even Islamists, or are they in fact somebody's proxy army under the guise of Islamism, right? And is it a proxy army whose job is to destabilize the region for the sake of making its resources more exploitable? Because we've seen that happen so many other times. So to avoid having those real conversations, some of them pulls a number out of his ass and says, 7,000 Christians are being killed every day, which sounds like an absolutely unconscionable thing, right? Because that would be a tragedy to eclipse, I guess, even Gaza. Right? Meanwhile, you and I know that the primary human catastrophes taking place on Earth right now are taking place in Sudan, they're taking place in Gaza, they're taking place in DR Congo. Not in Nigeria, which is not to say that a human tragedy isn't taking place in Nigeria on some level. But to then characterize it as that, to then put it in that bracket for the purpose of trying to justify foreign military intervention, I think that really just says it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the death statistics from the report you presented are horrifying. There's no doubt about it, but it's not what Ted Cruz and Eric Prince and all these Zionists are trying to make it out to be. And I'm just seeing it day after day after day, post after post. They're just flooding. And I think it's twofold. I think part of it is the minerals. I think part of it is like, well, Gaza is not the real tragedy. This is the real tragedy. They're killing two birds with one stone. Exactly. But in reality, the actual numbers probably pale in comparison to the violence in Chicago, Illinois on any given weekday night. It's very, very violent in the United States. It's horrifying.
And it's also very telling that at no point in all of these conversations is the real solution to this issue ever discussed, which is that the capacity of the Nigerian military needs to be strengthened. That is never put on the table. Instead, you have Eric Prince talking about flying in his private army to protect Christians who happen to sit on the resources that he and his friends want. Right?
Well, because
meanwhile,
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, go ahead. I was saying, meanwhile, this is clearly a capacity issue that the Nigerian military. Then, first of all, Nigeria is having its sovereignty violated by a non-state actor that has the ability to cause widespread devastation. So how can the solution to the country having its sovereignty violated be to have its sovereignty violated even further? Right? No one is talking about equipping the Nigerian military to have the capacity that needs to be had. Very interestingly, when these patterns of large-scale violence started to happen around 2013, 2014, the administration that was in power then in Nigeria actually tried to buy weapons. And the US government blocked sales of weapons to Nigeria under the so-called Leahy law. The US government claimed that the human rights of the people who were presumed to be terrorists were being violated. The US government said that, and the US government not only refused to sell arms to Nigeria, the US government actually imposed a de facto arms embargo on Nigeria, preventing Nigeria from actually purchasing arms from the international market. So Nigeria was reduced to smuggling arms using the international black market, which is why, if you recall, well, you may not have come across this, but if you Google this, you see it. Sometime in 2014, a private jet was stopped in South Africa after having intelligence provided from Washington, obviously. And it was a bunch of arms and ammunition on board, and the jet was bound for Nigeria. Those are counterterrorism weapons being smuggled in by the Nigerian government because the US government was preventing the Nigerian government from accessing arms by terrorists. And eventually, when the Nigerian government found, I guess, a left field solution, hired mercenaries, South African mercenaries, the group was called the Executive Outcomes, run by a fellow you might know called Ibn Baulo. And that group recorded incredible success, and Boko Haram was on the verge of being, extinguished as a going concern. And then the government lost the election, and then a new government came in, which was obviously, a US puppet government. One of the very first decisions made by that government under US instructions was to terminate that mercenary contract. And as soon as that contract was terminated, Boko Haram returned in full force. And before all of this happened, when Boko Haram first became known to the world, Nigeria spent years appealing to Washington for this group to be designated as a foreign terrorist organization. And the US State Department under Hillary Clinton spent 3 years stonewalling the Nigerian government and saying, no, they're not going to designate Boko Haram, which is now recognized as one of the world's deadliest terror entities, as a foreign terror organization. So why is it that the US government that refused to recognize terrorists as terrorists and spent 3 years sitting on its hands intentionally, those same people and people from that establishment suddenly care so much about what these very people whom they aided and abetted every step of the way may or may not be doing to Nigerian Christians? Supposedly. Why do they care now? Except, it becomes very evident. Of course they never cared. Of course, this is all a production for the sake of a geopolitical move, which is to seize resources from a weak African state. That is what this is all about.
I have a question. I know we're talking about different regions here, but are Boko Haram and the other affiliated groups, are these groups in any way, shape, or form, from what we know, ideologically linked or possibly even funded or armed by the same quote-unquote Islamist groups that are trying to cause terror in the revolutionary countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger?
They absolutely are. It's the same umbrella. So it's Boko Haram, it's ISWAP, it's JNIM, it's Ansar. It's the same umbrella. In fact,
this is all a U.S. operation. 100%.
Exactly. That's basically what it is.
Well, it also explains why, because if Nigeria had a strong military, maybe you would have, one of these very young, charismatic, brave, strong leaders rise up and say, we don't want a U.S. government. We don't want it to move, and also, if you have a strong government, even if they are or a strong military, if they're fighting Boko Haram and they defeat them, like the South African contractors were doing, well, then it's still going to be difficult for the U.S. to exploit those resources when they want to come in to just steal them. Wow. Well, this is, like I said, before we started, I really didn't know all the details with this story, but given that these are the same people fighting in the Sahel, given that, they're targeting the, mineral dense regions, given the fact that the statistics are just pulled out of people's asses and that it's all the war criminals, it's all the pro-Ukraine, pro-Zionist people, I'm really not surprised by any of this. So as a final question to you, we know that the Tinubu government, they're just not only U.S. pawns, but extremely, morally deranged. This guy was, as I understand from your reporting, he was something of a cocaine trafficker in the United. He participated in some cocaine trafficking or something as well when he was younger. Extremely corrupt. What are the odds that you think they will encourage this idea of some U.S. contractors like Eric Prince's Blackwater Reimagined group coming in and actually doing this?
Well, they're probably not going to actively encourage it. There are people who have been in the media, have been, putting out these generic messaging. It's an internal problem and it should be treated as an internal problem, yada yada. But there's no real conviction behind the message because they know very well that the only reason they're in power is that these same people are the ones who put them there. So there's no real teeth behind that messaging. It's just generic word salad. So I think what is more likely to happen is if the US or the people in charge of the US decide to activate the Venezuela strategy, which is basically tell a lie long enough and put real military muscle behind the lie, which is what they're currently doing, because they're claiming that Venezuela is fighting it's using drugs as a weapon of war against them, and they're blowing up random Venezuelan boats, trying to provoke a reaction, such that when the reaction happens, they will then carry out a full-scale invasion of Venezuela. So if that same strategy is what is going to be activated in Nigeria, I don't think a Tinubu government is going to be able to do anything about it. I think they're going to pretend there's going to be some shadow boxing, but they're not really going to do anything about it because these are the same people keeping them in power. Without US government support, Tinubu would not be president. He wouldn't have made it 3 months without US government support.
Exactly.
So he's not even a dictator of Nigeria because he doesn't even have control of Nigeria as such. He's being propped up, and he's being propped up in ways you wouldn't even imagine. It's being propped up in ways like, for example, the presidential car, right, which historically has always been a Mercedes-Benz Maybach for decades. As soon as this guy became president, it became a Cadillac Escalade, which was flown in on a U.S. Air Force Hercules C-300. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? This guy, he's in his very life, he's being protected by the CIA. So if they should so decide, there's really nothing he's going to do about it. So, I think it's actually up. If there's going to be any hope of stopping this sort of thing from happening, it has to come from the generality of Nigerians. It has to be widespread opposition to any such idea of foreign military deployment on Nigerian soil. Nigerians need to understand why that is a terrible idea, especially being that we're only 2 borders away from Libya, which obviously has had this experience before. That's what I hope people are going to clock finally. My hope is not with the Tinubu government. They're not going to be useful in any way. They never have been.
David Hundeyin, thank you so much. Excellent reporting and analysis as always. And
my people, una well done. I greet una specially. Michael, my brother, see you. Make I read your comments here. I really wonder how Oyibo people always have a way of compartmentalizing what their government is doing against Africans, so how those doings benefit them in real life as an Oyibo person. If you ask me, now who I go ask? The matter where you see so, e heavy for mouth. No be me go talk am, e get as e be. If you ask me, the matter for ground, na who I go ask? My brother, on to the next. This one. Meanwhile, remember this man when he talk say tax, they give una tax January 1st. They come find out in tweet. He say how Taiwo Ayodele Oyedele warned in 2019 that VAT increase would lead to higher inflation, make Nigerians poorer. But now says proposed tax VAT reform under T-Pain will reduce, not increase inflation. Can you imagine? Our low con. Our what? Our low con. Okay, MTN. Somebody, this is Obiasogo David, says, is MTN conniving with the House of Reps to stop FCCPC's new regulations that favor Nigerian fintechs? While Nigerians look away, unaware, the House of Reps secretly plots to reverse a bill they passed a year ago, the new FCCPC regulation. This regulation seeks to remove big telecom giants like MTN's monopoly in airtime and data lending and empower Nigerian-owned fintechs. What changed? The honorable members may just have been bought over by MTN, which holds a monopoly in the lending business and shares the proceeds only with its fellow South African partner. Let's go further. Nigeria's digital lending business, particularly airtime and data lending, has been a gold mine in recent years, but almost only exclusive to foreign multinationals like MTN. Between 2019 and 2023, 4 years alone, MTN made a whopping 5.6 trillion naira from poor Nigerians through the borrowed data and airtime service, averaging 1.4 trillion every year. Una dey see matter. Very absurdly, the only beneficiary of the outrageous gains besides MTN has been Naira Time, a South African-owned fintech company which provides the platform Extra Time, which MTN uses to disburse the airtime and data to the Nigerian borrowers. This way, MTN, in cahoots with its South African partner, clinched an upsetting monopoly in the digital lending business, shutting out Nigerian fintechs willing to take their luck in the lucrative field. To avert this and move to structure the digital lending business with regulatory guidelines put in place, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission introduced a new regulation called Digital Electronic Online or Non-Traditional Customer Lending Regulations 2025. A key highlight of the regulation is that it mandates MTN and the likes to partner with at least one tech company besides the South African Naira Time in their lending business. Hey, since the regulations came into force in July 25th, 2025, it appears the telecoms giants drew a war line against the FCCPC, and they have been aggressive in scuttling efforts to enforce the regulation. First, they lobbied leaders at the Nigerian Communications Commission to halt the implementation of the regulations, but the Nigerian public, who knew a thing about the insidious plot, exerted pressure on the NCC to stay clear of such a move, especially as the regulations were ratified by the House of Reps. The telecoms giants, which appear to have thumping sums to throw around in a bid to lobby their pernicious interest into reality, sought a connivance with the House to reverse the regulations. The arguments are as easily dismissible as they are comical. They say the FCCPC regulations will cause policy overlap and deepen foreign investors' confidence, but these points betray logic. The regulations seek to provide an ecosystem, a legal framework, and a structure for the digital lending sector, but beyond these salient helps, the regulations will crush telecoms giants' chancy monopoly and provide a level playing field for fintech, particularly native businesses, to thrive with a fair chance. Strikingly, the lawmakers themselves passed the bill which provided the legal framework for the regulations last year, 2024. What else could have influenced them to make an abrupt, dramatic turn? Well, while the fight for the control and regulation of Nigeria's digital lending sector festers, MTN and their partner, Optasia, the mother company to Naira Time, continue to rake in their billion-dollar earnings from airtime and data lending. A Reuters report which reveals that Optasia is making insanely huge investment moves in South Africa is a valid reference for proof. According to the global media, Optasia will list on South Africa's Johannesburg Stock Exchange and raise to 6.3 billion rand, which is 375 million or 575 billion, by selling a combination of new and existing shares. Much of the money was traded in Nigeria by Nigerians but ferried out of Nigeria in furtive capital flight, benefiting South African market alone. Again, the unpatriotic disposition of Nigerians leaders on crucial national issues manifest very awfully. Regulations that empower local investors as well as protect the foreign counterparts and structure the digital lending system for greater value and productivity should not be subject to nonsensical debate or sneaky political power play. The FCPC's efforts at structuring and repositioning the digital lending system are a patriotic gesture that must be allowed to run its course. Oh! Oh! No time to check time. We are moving on really fast. Meanwhile, una UN Deputy Secretary General Amina J. Mohammed, with all the kpai when dey happen for Nigeria, we no hear a bleep from this woman. No post on her social media, nothing. Guess what is prevalent on her social media? Free Palestine. Leave Palestine alone. Now this woman na dey represent una for UN. They don dey call her, they don dey drag her like a better passport generator. My hope is that with this dragging, they will insist on her stepping down and be replaced with someone who cares about the country as a whole, not a sectarian person who only believes in her religion, because this is baffling. How can you be in the UN as a UN SecGen? You see the mayhem that is going on in Nigeria, you know they talk. To una know how far now. Una know I don't need to go too deep. There's a video I want to play for you guys. See, they don't pull up Tayo Oyedele tweet from 2019 March. VAT rate increase will lead to higher inflation, interest rate hike, more unemployment, and generally make people poorer. But today, Tayo Oyedele is even the one pushing. He say make Ashawo sef come dey. He push so tey he say Ashawo go dey pay. Ashawo ain't go use him body o, not be dem give am body, go dey pay tax. See impact of new, he come dey write October 14, impact of new capital gains tax rules on the capital market. See he write. I no go bother to read am. Una go find am by una selves read. See just today alone, guess what? These people went, they raised alarm about Fulani planned attacks on community in Plateau State. What did your people do? It fell on deaf ears. They still go, they still fight people. Moving along.
Nigerians, I have come today to share with us the bitter truth about the Christian genocide and the rebirth of a nation. We live in a very, very, very sensitive period in the history of our country. I want to thank the millions of Nigerians that have committed themselves to seeing that we fight a just cause. I've seen the hundreds of thousands of responses. And I thank God that from all that I've seen, 97% of Nigerians want to, for one, stand up for what is truth and what is right. And at this moment, I'm going to read some things that I put down and penned down. But I'm speaking to you in the midst of all the threats. Some of the threats that some people have tried to instigate, to threaten me, and to try to calm me down. But I've refused to keep silent, and I've refused to be cowed down. It's not about me. I am a father and a blessed grandfather of 8 grandchildren. I can live like any other person and be silent and just cruise with life and just enjoy life and forget about the suffering of the people. But I've seen that the greatest thing that can happen in a life and in a nation is for a person to live for the glory of God and for the blessing of humanity. Money, silver, gold, position will all fade away. Buhari is no more. He was part of the people that brought in bandits together with some of the politicians in this country. So it's not that you don't know who were the people that established Boko Haram. The social media will always keep the records. Even when some traditional rulers in the north were saying if you touch a Boko Haram, it is a fight against Islam. What we're seeing that is going on, it started with wiping away Christians first. I raised my voice. Most of you Nigerians are witnesses that the president of Nigeria and the government of Nigeria went after me because of speaking the truth against genocide, against the killer Fulani headsmen that were not proscribed as terrorists. And IPOB was proscribed, and the Yoruba agitators were also proscribed as terrorists. We can't live in a nation with double standard and double law. I am a northerner. I love the north. I love my people. And I am paying the price for the lives and the destiny of my people. I've been on the road for several days. There is no state that I've not gone to. In this year, I have been to over 20 states in Nigeria. Right now, I am speaking to you from South Nigeria. I travel by road. I see the real Nigeria. I see what the true Nigerians are going through. I didn't come here as a politician. I came as the voice of conscience. This is not just another statement. And I want to speak to the younger people. Nigeria is your country. You see the president of Nigeria, President Tinubu, give him the next 10 years, he will become vegetable. The next 10 years, he will need help because they are aging. We are aging. I'm a grandfather. You must know that you don't have any other nation like Nigeria.
Sid, welcome,
Nigeria
bro.
is
Good
the
to
only
see
country
you.
that will give you all that you need to be able to exercise your potential if you do what is right. So don't be carried by certain deception or mockery. I can't pronounce the name well. It's a shame for you as a young man to stand to back lies, lie physically. I am grateful to the Americans. I am grateful for the people in the World Cup who stood with banners to tell the world that the Nigerian Christians are under genocide and they need to be defended. As much as the defense of all the Muslims that are being killed right now. When they were killing people in Katsina, when they were killing people in Zamfara, I stood up and I spoke against that killing. But you will never find Christian militias. What you find is Islamic militia. Listening to the teaching of 80% of Islamic scholars, all their preaching is dead to the Christians, dead to the infidel. And if any Muslim is a moderate Muslim, they will say, kill him. That's why the knot is boiling until we speak the truth to ourselves. Until we speak the truth to ourselves. And I'm speaking with pain in my heart. Unless we speak the truth to ourselves. So you can't continue to be sitting on the seat of lies and deception. Northern leaders, you cannot. Look at now recently, look at what the National State Governor just said yesterday of another group of Islamic jihadis that now are causing mayhem. Look at it just day before yesterday. The hundreds of Fulani killer headsmen with AK-47 on motorcycle, over 200 motorcycles that I could count, go on the street with guns in a country like Nigeria, and you tell me that there are no terrorists? and you tell me there is no genocide? We cannot continue to hide behind official silence while rivers of innocent blood flow through the valley of Benue, of Plateau, of Kaduna, of Taraba. We, the people, must rewrite our history. Nigeria is a great country. I speak to the younger people. All Nigerian founding fathers ruled this country as youth. Obasanjo, youth. Gowon, youth. Shagari, youth. I can go on and on. Babangida, youth. Tafawa Balewa, youth. Sardauna Sokoto, youth. The same mantle is resting upon the shoulder of younger people today, Nigerians. It is the youth. It is you. The youth must rise again. You must rise again, not in violence, but in vision, not in violence. Do you see the way the politicians are playing you? Do you see what is going on? I saw the killing that took place just the last 24 hours on the plateau. And all of these places where Christians were wiped away from the community, taken away from their community, the terrorists are there. They are there as I'm talking. Where is the list of the sponsors of terrorists that the United Arab Emirates sent to Nigeria? We have it. You have it as a government. Why don't you go after them? So I am calling on America and I'm calling on the entire world to put pressure on the Nigerian government. I want the international community to help Nigerian government, help the Tinubu administration. He met it, but he must get to solve the problem. Millions of Christians are right now disarmed. I know how many houses I'm building. I know how many people I am paying their school fees. I know how many people I join in their burial, mass burial. We can't deny the truth. The truth is the truth. What is genocide? I will close with this, and I want you, if you really love your country and you believe that it's time we join forces together, the moderate Muslims and the Christians, we join our hands together to bring a stop to this. President Tinubu, I will tell you, you need to watch some of the people you have as national security advisor, as some of the people as ministers. It's not that Nigerians don't know who are giving strength and power. Some of the senators are blood-tested senators. Senator Buba from Bauchi is there. You can go check the records. How many of the bandits he has kept in his house and gave them ammunition and gave them, it's there. The DSS director, you know them. The chief of defense staff, you know them. You gave an order to go clear them. You know where they are. I know that sometimes your hands are tied, but let Nigerians for once rise up and say enough is enough. The killing, the inflicting harm, the forced displacement. Oh God, I pray that we all come to this point to know that there's only one nation, and this nation is our nation. We must all fight together. So join me in this move. Let's pray at the same time. Let's speak out and cry out for this government to get things right. I want to encourage this government, stop spending money trying to send people around the world say that the stories are not true. I mean, America has embassy here. There is no country that doesn't have embassy. They know what is going on. All we need to do is for us to say yes. This evil is on, killing is on. But now we will rise up as a nation, as a government, and flush out this bandit. Nigerians are ready to cooperate. Kwara is being destabilized. Southwest is being destabilized. The entire Northwest now is ungovernable. You had the cry of the governor of Zamfara. What is going on in Borno? The persecution Christians are going through. There is no one Christian in the far north that can tell you they have C of O to their church. In schools, they are not allowed to have their Christian religious knowledge. In this same country, these are citizens and indigents of the land.
Wow.
So today I am appealing to every Nigerian of conscience. You can come and abuse me, you can say whatever, but I am speaking this far for you to know. It's time to wake up. You can see the people that were hired to come, and the people could not hide the truth. But they spoke the truth that there is genocide in Nigeria. We can't continue with these liars in government. Nigeria, you will know the truth. Church leaders, you will know the truth. Imams, you will know the truth. And it is the truth that will set us free. And so I pray that the God of heaven, who hears the cry of the martyr, the blood of the people that were shed, the blood will continue to cry until defense comes for the innocent in this country. May God bless you, and may God watch over every one of you as we join forces together to reclaim the soul of our nation. God bless you.
My people, I am speechless. I am speechless. Scott Miles, welcome. Guys, please continue to double tap your device screen to like, or click on the three dots to like the show. So, by the way, you know, we gotta move on, right? Mike Arnold, not comot hand for Reno mockery matter. He say it is important that I state that I posted about Omokri only after I followed the biblical instruction to seek his repentance and restoration first. So he tried to go and meet him to repent and to do restoration. The next step, right, was for him to warn the brethren, saying, warn them. This is what that looks like in the age of social media. I do not have a vendetta or any anger against him. My heart breaks for him. I was called by God to Nigeria to speak the truth, and that's the exact instruction Omokri gave me when he invited me. Nothing more. Just come and speak the truth. That's all I've done. How could he be mad at me for doing what he asked me to do? I will continue to swing the sword of truth so long as I have breath in my lungs, and as long as innocent Nigerians are slaughtered and the displaced are ground down by the very people Omokri has sided with after flip-flopping himself into the killing field. I am completely done with him. He's irrelevant. And I think his days being a shield for this administration are over. What he just engineered was a blunder of historic proportions. I kept saying throughout that surely God has befuddled his mind to allow him to do something so flagrantly foolish. I never had to speak one false thing to him. He just misinterpreted everything I said, assuming that he's smarter than everyone. This is gross negligence on behalf of Tinubu, and I don't think Tinubu puts up with stuff like that very well, especially from effeminate pretty boys. Hey! Who talk out of both sides of their mouth and are universally reviled by Nigerians. both in country and diaspora. Goodbye appointment, goodbye vice president candidacy, good riddance, Reno. To quote a man that I once thought highly of, I really don't think we should keep overflogging this. Move on. Pursue your passion and live and let live. I will not post about him again unless he wants to tangle, and I will respond with overwhelming truth. I've only snatched the surface, and I pray that's enough. Fair warning, anyone who stands in the way of the truth will be caught and caught and caught. This is not a game, it's not a feud, it's about saving lives, and it's about setting Nigeria on a path for a bright, peaceful, and prosperous future. To my beloved friends in Nigeria, fact is, there's no such thing as darkness. It is just the absence of light. It's time to rise and shine. So apparently, Reno has sent him a message, right? He said, now I know, he sent to Reno, I think, now I know without doubt that you do not recognize truth when you hear it. Nothing but pure and undefiled truth. Anyway, that cut out. So Reno now responded, okay, let us agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And I really don't think we should keep overflogging this. Move on, pursue your passion, and live and let live. Right? So they tell the man, say, oh yeah, nah, it's okay, oh yeah, no come spoil my food. Where my food they come from? Oh yeah, go do your thing. Go. It's okay. We don't have to agree. Let me continue to lie, gaslight Nigerians, because that's where I make my money, so I can live all over the world and wear 100 naira stashed agbada to come and lie to them every Eke market day. You go do you. And then he now responded, there was a better chance of it going that way had I not gone from this message to see the headline about how I debunked the claims of genocide. Next. Phew. Nigeria matter.
Plan by Sowore to organize a Free Nnamdi Kanu protest this week. I don't know if you are in tune with that arrangement.
Well, let me tell you, I've always been consistent on Nnamdi Kanu's flight. There was no need for the arrest in the first place. And I've always said that for me, and discuss with anybody who
I don't know what's going on.
And I thank those who actually tried to do what saying for a long time. Go and check what I said.
Oh my God.
2022,
It's
even
terrible.
2024. I've said, and now that he has gone because he's been to court, the rules should be followed. Not just for Nnamdi Kanu, for all agitators across the nation. Let's dialogue with them. There's nothing wrong with anybody agitating or saying, let's dialogue with them. And whatever we do with them, let's follow the rules. So I thank the organizers and I thank those who are involved. Thank you.
The results of the outcome of the 2022 election, they remain public remain as debates up to today. Obviously because of the role of INEC and other political factors. Today we have a new INEC chairman in place, and we are working towards a new general election. What are your expectations for this new leadership of INEC regarding conduct, outcome for the process?
Very simple. He's a Nigerian. We want a new Nigeria where elections will be free, fair, and credible. And that people who have the competence, the capacity, the compassion, the character, and commitment to lead the nations are elected. It's for good of everybody. None of us is going to be here forever. And none of us is going to be in our position forever. So whatever position we find ourselves is to do the right thing. So I wish him well. When he's confirmed, I will congratulate him and tell him to know that one day he's going to leave that post. Let it ensure that he keeps his reputation.
Well, a lot of your followers, especially among the obedient movement, are quite worried about your presence in the ADC because many people actually perceive that it will seem Atiku has a stronghold on that coalition, and they fear.
Let me tell you, first is that Atiku is a very dear elder brother and leader that I have a lot of respect for. I'm a member of the Labour Party, and I belong to the coalition forming ADC for presidential election 2027. And I can tell you, other parties are going to join, other people are going to be part of it. Other people are going to be part of it.
So what does it mean that they are meeting with because I know that they are going to move to PDP. Are you still talking about that? PDP?
All of us are going to come together as a people. That's my belief. That for us to do the right thing for the country, all well-meaning people now have to come together to rescue the country.
Are you assuring Nigerians that you'll be on the ballot for 2027?
I'm contesting, and I'm sure I will be. And people will have to look at it. They have to look at who is competent, who has the capacity.
You know one thing I noticed? Peter Obi has aged. Nigeria don't age Peter Obi. See white hair for his head.
So I watched this video online where Rufai was asking the Honorable Minister of Works how much is the cost of a kilometer of the Lagos-Calabar Expressway. Professor David Omoye did not answer him, but there was back and forth. Now I don't want to talk about their character. Let's talk about the project itself. As you know, this is the biggest project in Nigerian history. No project is bigger than this project. But unfortunately, we don't know the people that competed before they gave it to high tech. And the reason they gave it to high tech, nobody knows. So the biggest project in Nigerian history was not bidded for. If you know the company that bidded for it, please put it in the comment section. I'll be happy to learn from you. Secondly, the cost of this project, which is not far-fetched, is about 15 to 16 trillion naira. Let's take 15 trillion naira, which represents about 10,000 US dollars at the rate of 1,500. 10 billion US dollars. Divide 15 trillion by 700, because it's a 700 kilometer road. Divide it by 700. What it will give you is 21.1 billion naira per kilometer. That's what Rufai is looking for. It's costing Nigeria 21.1 billion naira to build 1 kilometer. If you now further break it down, it's costing Nigeria 2.1 billion naira to build every 100 meters of that road. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know. But at the same time,
Michael, where you there, engineer?
The government. I want not done.
Hey,
they are the defendants. They are the one that is constructing. They are everything. Now take that aside. Today, as we speak, the most expensive coastal road in the world is in Nouvelle, France, in the Reunion. The cost of
Uncle
building
Beno.
per kilometer.
Uncle Beno said Jesus.
And the cost
Never
of
hear
building
anything
per
but Uncle
kilometer
Beno.
in Nigeria has a difference of about $198 million per kilometer. Nigeria own is $198 million more expensive than what you have in France. So by the time they complete the coastal highway in Nigeria, it will be on record as the most expensive coastal highway in the world. I know some people will come after me and tell me that the terrains are not the same, that the terrain in Nigeria is more harsh, and that is why they're spending more, as I've said earlier on. I want to know
To Ben.
You don't even know. So if because of that terrain is more harsh than the one you have in France, so the difference will be about $200 million is justifiable. When will you have sense? I will not talk much. I've given you the answer that Rufai is looking for. It's left for you to decide if the cost is okay or if it's high. But I've said a kilometer of road is costing Nigeria $21.1 billion naira. 21.1 billion naira is a kilometer of road. And it remains the most expensive coastal highway in the world. Fact check me. Most of you no?
One more video and then we go.
wọ́n fíìlì gáàsì ní 1,700 naira àtúrí fíìlì náà àtúrí sílíńdà kiri ní ládùúgbò tiwa 1,700 naira gáàsì adẹ̀wà fọwọ́ lẹ́rán bígbà pé òsì kankan yóò bá a máa fẹ́ràn àbòsí àti rìkìṣí àtọ̀tẹ́ o adẹ̀wà ṣe bígbà wípé kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tẹ̀ wá ṣẹlẹ̀ bígbà pa yóò ní wàhálà bígbà pọ̀fẹ́ là ń gbáyé kí ló dé
Uncle Bello.
tó òótọ́ lọ̀rọ̀ wọn àgbà wọn ní tẹnu bá jẹ ojú àti àṣepọ̀ òótọ́ ni àtọ́ba ọ̀fọ̀lẹ́rán ìjòyè wọ́n ń wòran aráàlú gan wọ́n mú mọ́ra nǹkan dẹ̀ èèyàn wákàtí láti Ìbàdàn láti wórodù ó wá dé bẹ́gà èèlò náà ní 17 1 kg náà ló fìlì ìgbà tí ò rí gáàsì fìlì àṣà jẹun àbí òótọ́ dẹ̀ lọ sọ wọ́n ní nǹkan ta fílẹ̀ sẹ́yìn apàdà lọ́ba eré mo pé gbogbo náà gitẹ fílẹ̀ àbí stóòfù dé ẹ̀pà náà gitì sílíndà dé ẹ̀pà stóòfù tì àti stọ́dọ̀sì àti sílíndà àti gáàsì àti gbákan kò tẹ̀sí tó wá yí sí àtẹ̀tí gẹ́ẹ̀tì báyìí kò sí wàhálà padà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ àárọ̀ náà ni iná igi lágbẹ́ ládàgbẹ́yìn náà àbí ṣé bó gbogbo àti fọ́ lẹ́rán báyìí Sunday ti jọ Monday àti Tuesday ẹgbẹ́ ni wọ́n Wednesday wọ Thursday wọ Friday bákan náà lójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí báyìí ayé amúmọ́ra àsọ̀rọ̀ àbí Buhari ò
I just sent to Uncle Bello.
kò sára tá a fi dánwò kò sí nǹkan tá a ṣe ní social media ó wá di tiwa fọ́ lẹ́rán wẹ́n bí Nàìjíríà bá ṣe kọjú só kálukú ni ó ṣe lù èèyàn kan ti sọ́nà rọ́pò ní tiẹ̀ pọ̀ bàbá yìí ń gbìyànjú ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ńlá sílùú mo ló ṣe ìtọ́tẹ̀ ṣe ló pọ̀ mo ní mi ò blame ẹni tó sọ̀rọ̀ ibi tí Nàìjíríà kọjú sí ló ń gbà sọ̀rọ̀ no problem o àwa amúmọ́ra àsọ̀rọ̀ àbí gbígbà pé nǹkan kò ṣẹlẹ̀ àìmọye ọmọ tí ò jẹun lọ léwe tí gáàsì lọ tán mọ́ sílíńdà lẹ́nu àgbẹ̀gbàkámú àtẹ̀sán kankan 1,700 naira gáàsì àdẹ̀tí rí kankan o a sì máa rí mẹ́wàá èmi mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹn kọ̀ọ̀kan lẹ̀ January dé tán olúkálùkù àmọ́ ibi tó bìlọ́ sí Nàìjíríà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ sọ pé ìjọba àsìn ní best government ní Nàìjíríà àdúpẹ́ fọlọ́ ibi tó kọjú sí ilẹ̀ gbà sọ àwọn tẹ́tẹ́ sọ wípé kò bá wa láàmú ibi tó gbà sáwa náà na padà na ó kọjú sí wa ó láti sọ so olúkálùkù ó níbi tí Nàìjíríà kọjú sí wọ́n sọ wá dá láìmọ̀ ṣe àbí bá la ṣe fẹ́ kó 5,000 bábá lè lé wọlé kò sí gáàsì kò sí ráìsì kò sẹ́wà kò sóròró ẹjọba ò ló ṣe fẹ́ kó ẹ wá sọ pé àǹkú a ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n àwọn tó kù ó kù àwọn tó máa kù àwọn tó dẹ̀ máa rí nǹkan sọ wọ́n á rí sọ tọ́lọ́mbà ní kó rí bákan náà á ní pàdé ayọ̀.
That is it o. Make we talk the matter eyeball to eyeball. My people, una don see all the matter. I don table am for ground for us. We don na the matter be this. I no know wetin to add o. I don't know what to add because I don't know what to add. Abeg, please, as you are entering, don't forget to double tap your screen device to like. Or click on the 3 dots to like. Abeg, na beg I dey beg una. Una do well. For all of you that have liked, I really appreciate and I thank you all. Una see wetin dey happen for Nigeria. The reason why I play, welcome to Kumbo. Good to see you. Welcome. Please, guys, double tap your screen device to like the video. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. The reason why I brought on the issue of this genocide that is going on in Nigeria, I am in the middle. I've said it and I'll continue to say it. I'm in the middle of it. I cannot stop those that are crying for help because we all see what the government is. The government is not doing anything. It's literally watching the people bleed out lives every day. We have lost more lives in Nigeria than any place that has war. Even in Ukrainian war when they fight, I'm not sure if they lose life like the way they take lose them for Nigeria. In the same country, people are displaced and they are put them in IDP camps. I've never heard it before. So I don't feel in good conscience tell people, say, not cry, come out. Not cry, come out. They don't flog you well. Not cry, come out. No worry. Just hold her inside. I can't. I cannot. In the same vein, I understand David Udenyi's concern. I don't trust anyone myself. I don't trust anybody coming from the outside and saying they have a solution for Nigeria. I don't. I'm not going to pretend. I don't. Everybody is suspect right now. Because when they invade and come into Nigeria, not be waiting we go they talk now, not be where they talk. The whole thing go change. We see where all the places where they don't invade for this world, we see what they don't turn them into. And David Udeyi is right. Nigerians, we have soldiers that are capable. I don't know if you guys remember one soldier like that that's been reporting and talking and complaining about the leadership in the military. That guy has said it too in his videos. Like, there are soldiers that are willing to fight, but they don't give them the tools. They do not. When they capture these people, they release them again, and then they absorb them in and put them in the army. So the matter, I don't know. For me, I go someone will solve our problem ourselves, because all this external, all of a sudden, that guy when they talk say, oh, Africa is due for another slavery all over again. That Eric Prince guy, he don't dey sharp mouth everywhere. They send message to Pope, they tweet to at Pope, may Pope release funds, may they enter Nigeria. My hand no deal. Any welcome, greetings. Hey, if you have now, I'm telling you, Niger matter long. You understand? So for me, I'm not for, I'm not against. I cannot tell a child that is crying, I no fit force am, tell am say don't cry, shut up your mouth. I cannot in good conscience do it. People have lost family members. I think I brought a video here, or is it a photo of a girl, her entire family wiped out, only her remain. How I want to tell that kind of person say no cry, come out? How? I can't. I no fit pretend. I no fit say, oh, don't cry. Shh, keep quiet, don't say anything. Shh. I can't. At the same time, I may not support the idea of us having outsiders come to solve our problems for us. We have military boys that are capable of doing it. Why don't we empower them to do the work? The question now is, does T-Pain have the will? Because those people that are fighting, they are the people he's planning to use for next election. Una hear say don't they release prisoners? He released all the prisoners. In fact, more lists came out. They give him more lists. He's going to release more. The man is throwing everything in. All the governors are decamping to APC. Peter Umba don't enter APC. Seludo is going to enter APC. Do you understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the governors decamping is not the issue for me. The real issue for me is the people. Are they going to fold their hands and watch this mess happen? That is my own. Because if the people decide that no, we're not going to have that. Welcome, Osman. Mr. Omoye, welcome. You tire, my sister. When you tire, finish, you come back. This fight will go continue to fight, because now who close? Now who? If we keep quiet, the thing. Now the talk when we dey talk. Now you see say all this talk when we dey talk all over. Now you push shine torchlight for the whole mess when they go on for Nigeria. Or may we talk say now your VP go miss yan for UN. Say okay, we go open a file. And waiting that they talk, we say now the politicians they want target. But David Udeyi makes a great point. Now this same them put Buhari for there. Now then come on Jonathan put Buhari. Now they still they behind T-Pain. You see say T-Pain people they come out, they say now Peter Obi now ain't go report them. Peter Obi no report anybody. He no even come. Now pass through. Now he pass through. Nobody. But they look for women that will take pin on the man. Then they accuse Peter Obi of waiting they did during Jonathan's time. T-Pain was always in Washington during Jonathan's time. Of course, now they are assets. So they were in regular communication with him. T-Pain intentionally orchestrated the coming in of Buhari because he wanted to. After Buhari, this is exactly what happened. That's why when they were buying his people, right? He said, "Where I'd show me the cows." Nigerians need to stand united against all these issues. What more do they need to say? No to the nonsense. Eh? Exactly. You understand? So everything is working. I don't know. I mean, I still, regardless of all the mess that's going on in Nigeria, I still see it. I'm hopeful for a new Nigeria. I think that this needs to happen so that we'll really know where our problems are. So we can. The funny, what beats me about Nigeria? All your so-called fake elites, because Nigerians, you guys don't have elites. Me, I've been saying my own here. You people don't have elites. You people don't have elite. All you people have are carpet beggars that just manage to get there. Sugar babies, government sugar babies. They don't know jack. They don't understand. They only care about themselves and their family. They do not care. In countries that are working, you literally have their billionaires funding the government, putting money behind something that is good for the people, not your Nigeria. See Olumelu come out, they say let's prosper together, one thing. If you say, they say they drag am like I better pass my neighbor generator for Twitter. They say no be you. Now you are one of the reasons why T-Pain, you sponsor T-Pain's election. You are one of the reasons why we are where we are. You better keep quiet. We not send you and your money. You understand what I'm saying? Even what's the other one's name? Copy's daddy, the same thing. Shebi una here say the children of Copy and Buhari pikin, Tinubu they consider giving them ambassadorship. You know, say Nigeria not get ambassador. Nigeria not get ambassador. I hope so una know. Nigeria does not have an ambassador. So guess what? They are propping up their children to become the new slave drivers. Are you going to allow that happen? Nigerians, are they going to allow that happen? That is the real question. Because we will only talk, we will talk for a year. But the real question is, are we going to allow it happen? When tax hit January 1st, now people go know how far. That tax is not supposed to pass if Nigerians know what they are doing. The same man who spoke against tax when Jonathan, or was it when, I don't know, 2019, is not the person that is in charge of taxing you, even coming out and having the audacity, the balls, to tell OS, Ashawo people, when we say their body, now bond them with their body, they go tax them for using their body. So after you don't go service your customer, you can't come out of that money, hey! God forbid. I'm waiting for Nigerians to rise up because I don't understand what that is all about. Do you know they don't even want to care how you make your money as long as you pay tax? That's how bad it is in Nigeria. So armed robber go pay tax. Yahoo go pay tax. You when go school, get better job, or you get business, you go pay. I don't think people are ready for what's to come in Nigeria. It's not getting any better. Tinubu is ramping up everywhere. You know the only thing that's shaking him right now? Somebody said that this whole quiz buying that is going on is Tinubu's Achilles heel. This is the thing that will bring him down. Because internally, within Nigeria, he is successful. I read somewhere and the person said, Tinubu has successfully rounded off the South. We now have a South. We can now say we have a South versus the North. That's what they're saying. But they forget to say the governors. Because I don't know how they're going to, unless they're going to, that's clearly what they want to use. Agberus, touts, to intimidate people. Some people might not even be able to exercise their vote that day. All this electoral reform, me, I'm not for it. And you see, I don't talk about electoral reforms anymore because Tinubu is not going to give you no goddamn electoral reforms. It's not going to happen. You want him to give you electoral reform when he knows. The man that is coming in is Tinubu's yes man. He will be more loyal than Mahmoud. Anything that Tinubu says, that's what he's going to do. So people should not waste your time. All those people saying we thank him, we congratulate him. No, he's there to do Tinubu's bidding. He's not there for you. You see how he's using, you see where he good to stand on his truth at all times. Now that the Enugu state governor has decamped to APC, people are APD people are coming out and saying that it was LP that actually won Enugu and not PDP. You see, lies. And on top of that, T-Pain is using the ills, the crimes. All the people that have decamped, they all have crimes. They all have skeleton in their cupboard. That is what Tinubu is using to force them to decamp. Ediri abi na Esiri that they call am. Abi na Bayelsa state governor, abi which state governor? That one don't decamp too. He don't decamp. He don't tey na, Uncle Beno. He don't tey. Na T-Pain install that D7 for us now. The man no campaign, he not talk any, they just install am. You no hear wetin he talk? The man say all the councillors, make dem make sure say when they come there, all the commissioners, when they come, make dem make sure say they wear Tinubu cap. In solidarity, na make me use am as my cover this thing, my pay. I say, abi, as Edo State governor don say make everybody dey wear Tinubu cap. Now I say make I use this thing as Tinubu with the toothpick in the mouth. Is any one of them will not show consequences? Una no vex, I never read comments. Make I see. If una wan come talk, make I share my link. Make una come add, because I'm shutting this down. Because tomorrow is another day. Matter full ground. You see this matter with this genocide thing when they happen, it's going to get worse. I see it. It's going to ramp up as the days go by. I'm not kidding you guys. Oh, wallahi. So if you have anything you want to add, please, as you are double tapping to like or clicking the 3 dots, use the link to enter the studio. If you have anything if you want to vent, please, by all means, come in and do your venting. What's going on here? With the lovely to see you too, Tokumbo. Welcome. Okay. Or if you want to call in, you can call in. With the 2.5 billion they are using to build 100 meters, the length of the land of land Usain Bolt runs in 9.65 seconds. The Nigerian government can pay 1,875 people 100K per month for 1 year. Tokumbo, second base, Abi. With the 22.5 billion, Umahi and Uncle Beno, welcome.
Hello, Osi, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I had you on mute. Welcome, sir. How now? Long time, my brother. How you dey?
It's been a while, my sister.
You
But
don't
I always
say.
follow your show now. Trust me.
Oh,
You always busy. It's just that work and my own personal commitment.
yeah.
End up keeping me away from your show. Even right now, I'm at work.
Okay.
Just make a message real quick.
Thank you. I appreciate. Good to have you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, my sister. So, OC, no vessel.
No wahala.
I just want to, because right now, I think I've left that boat of trying to fight for Nigerians too. So right now, I am just laughing with whatever is happening in Nigeria, because it has become super obvious that the people who are affected the most, they are not even bothered about making moves in order to at least reclaim what rightfully belongs to them. So for those of us who apparently, whether we like it or not, now people of my age who live in the diaspora, for the next 20 years or even 25, may God keep us alive, I don't think we're going to go and live in Nigeria. So really, bothering ourselves about what's happening in Nigeria. It will just kind of like elevate our blood pressures. So I'm so sorry if I'm just catching cruise with Nigeria matter now. So first off, I think the biggest problem with this APC administration is greed. And it stems from the fact that the greed has now become an obsession for the sitting president. He just wants to win that 2027 election by fire, by force. Come rain, come sunshine. And I think for him, the best way to do that is to gather as many corrupt politicians as possible. Because if he can get those politicians to cross over to APC, then the 2027 election is a done deal. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, my sister.
I do. I completely get what you're saying, I agree with you. That's what he's doing. He's trying to solid because if he has all the governors, he can use their powers to subdue people for to take to snatch the ballots and take the election from the people from the state, and that's why he's pushing for election in November. All the elections, because he wants to solidify, according to I think it was Michael that even brought that to my own understanding. He wants to solidify so that by the time they do other election, he will know, okay, all the governorship election is in the bag for him. So once they now do the presidential election, he will now, that's his plan. I'm aware. And to your point about, you have signed off and, Nigerians and all of that. The thing is, here's the thing. For me, and, I respect where you stand. I'm not even going to hold it against you because I understand. It's not everybody that wants to deal with all of this. But the truth remains, there are people back home who did not bargain for this. They're young people. You know how many young people are being taken advantage of in Nigeria on a daily basis? I'm talking children, right? I'm not even the adults. Now forget about the adults. The adults should know better, right? But children, because say for Nigeria, they born where they born plenty. You go see one man when he get like 5 wives, he go born like 20 children, doesn't care about them. Those children are taken advantage of, that they buy children every single day. We have not even begin to scratch the surface. For me, I look at all of that and say, and trust me, all this talking when they talk, they even push some of the things when they see, when the government, they pretend say that they do. It's because it's as a result of us not taking our feet off the off the pedal of a car, the throttle. Is it the throttle? Yeah, the throttle of a car. Now, because of all this talking, because the moment we go silent, I'm telling you, Uncle Beno, you and I may never go back to Nigeria, right? But will you in good conscience, right, see what is going on with your people, even if you hear them by mistake and not feel a type of way? Whether we like it or not, we're born Nigerian for a reason. That blood flows in your veins. You can't do anything about it. You not use knife, cut and come out.
Of course.
So for me, that's what drives me, because I grew up in a small town. I didn't grow up in a small town that you can say it's a village safe. I know how bored I was growing up because there wasn't much to do around that small town, right? I can imagine if I was forgotten and abandoned. I don't know how the trajectory of my life would have been. If it wasn't for people coming up then that spoke and fought and ensured that, okay, no, these children have some future, maybe I won't be where I am. So it will be criminal for me to be quiet. And knowing that there's somebody like me growing up in a village or small town somewhere that probably doesn't have any, no hope. No, because he doesn't feel like anybody cares or nobody's hearing, and they're just rotting away. For me, I just can't, when I sleep.
I quite understand.
Yeah, when I sleep, when I wake up, and I think about those people back home who cannot. Growing up, we didn't buy food in the market. We grew food in the farm. I spent a better part of my life growing up going to the farm. You grew what you ate. There was never hunger in my house. So think about it now. There are people who cannot go to they can't even go to their farms. All these people are coming out and saying in order for people to go to their farms, they have to pay this humongous amount of money. Ha! I dey imagine how much did they pay my papa that time? With how many children? Where want to see money to dey pay bandits because he won't go farm? Hey, egbami. So my own na the one when I fit do, the small when I fit do, this small channel when I get, na I fit dey shout, dey talk. I go dey use am. One day.
It's okay, my sister. No, it's okay to speak up. It's just that sometimes it gets frustrating, especially when the people who you're speaking for, they are actually not making any move. You see what I'm saying?
I know.
So, but then, what gave me confidence and made that decision not to bother myself much about Nigeria is that the way this current APC government is going, I think there is light at the end of the tunnel now. And that light at the end of the tunnel is not coming from APC. What's going to happen is that they will so press the people's neck that revolution they were trying to
avoid.
One day, just one small event will just happen, and you will see the entire country getting burnt from one state to another.
Exactly.
Just mark my. That is how it happens in many places. Because right now, if you look at all the countries where they have this revolution, where they just will lay those in power and get rid of them in one day or maybe chase them away, it usually happens when it's just one small policy that they will execute or implement, and boom, it will trigger everybody.
Exactly.
So when I heard up with this tax, oh, my sister, make I not lie, I'm so happy with that tax because now, here we live in this diaspora. One of the things that make us know our rights, just like their own indigenous people, is because of the taxes they are paying. All this why most of the money the politicians are looting and stealing is coming from the oil funds and any other places they are generating revenue, mostly from oil.
Right.
So Nigerians kind of feel like, well, Shafi one leg, God is watching them. One day, one angel will come, the angel will turn the country around. That's the feeling. But now that they're going to be paying taxes, then go understand, say, meat way strong, now they call Nama. For me, I'm happy. And on one side, power intoxicates. These people with power, you see the way they are moving from Akpabio to state governors to local government chairman. You see the way they are moving. The impunity, I can do anything, nothing will happen. I'm a loyal party member. Baba will not let anything happen. We can get away with it. You see, when that power gets to a level whereby the people is no longer regarded as humans, that's when they are cup with food, and they are getting there now. I pray, make them not turn back. I pray in Jesus' name they should execute this tax. Yes, because some people, we Nigerians, many Nigerians have this mentality that God is still doing it now. We are still eating,
and they are still doing party. We spraying bundle in party.
Yeah, and the worst of them all, the people that will say, Tinubu is trying. Don't you look at this? Now,
exactly.
That's why sometimes let me stay away from this shit before I offend a lot of people. How can you, with all your education, with all the exposure, you open your mouth while you say, Tinubu is trying? What yardstick do you use to measure Tinubu's performance? Tell me, is it infrastructure? Is it in terms of healthcare or electricity? Just tell me. Tinubu and his cronies, they are constructing Lagos-Calabar Coastal Expressway. Why the main road that has linked Lagos all across many states in Nigeria, all the way to the east. That road is jam-packed every day. Nothing is done. And they are back on this white elephant project, and some people will just open their mouth like, we'll try now. I'll just say like, it's like you people don't even know politicians at all. It's annoying, Sister Moye. It's really annoying. That's why I just stay the hell away from me. Like, I need to know press their neck where. When their neck, they won't that they can't breathe. Nobody will tell them before they will start walking to their local government chairman, on the cab. Make a name talk. We're getting there gradually. Seriously, we're getting there. We are getting there. And you see this tax, a lot of them in Nigeria now they are thinking, we may not pay the tax. How they go they collect tax from me? I could just laugh. You know, go use bank account. Nigeria is such a place whereby the government can even freeze your account on the basis that we don't see your tax papers. Nothing is showing that you are paying taxes. So I want me to collect tax. That tax says no rich. Tinubu need to collect the just like we are paying here in abroad. They need to pay for water. If you dig well inside your compound, pay for it. By that time,
they don't they collect tax for television, you know.
Oh, that was small. They need to collect tax on if you buy bread
and road.
Something have to choke Lagosian, the Nigerians' neck for them to react. It's too much. I've been saying this and I'll continue to say it. So far, Nigerians are still going to churches every Sunday. Church is still there. Oh, politicians will always get away. I know my recommendation that sometimes it sounds crazy, right? But me, I know they even do revolution. I know they for a fight or anything. But there are ways you can send message to people in power that it go choke them. I swear, if all Nigerians just decide, say, for 1 month, we know they go church. The moment the politicians say nobody, they go church. They go don't come up for Nigeria. They go say what they come. Nothing happen. No. Nobody they fight. They just decide, say, we not go church for 1 month. I'm telling you.
That's true.
You're right. These people are not going to church anyway. Who will tell them Jesus is coming that they should forgive? Who will tell them to be patient? No. You will see politicians that don't come up. They'll begin fear.
That's true.
Nigeria is okay. People still go to church. People still they survive. As me, they follow you talk now. For the past 3 months or 4 months now, I don't give nobody 1 dime in Nigeria. And I don't hide it. The guys, you guys are okay now. You are okay.
You are living it up. You are enjoying.
Government, So I want them to pay taxes because they ask us money for here. They don't know say now inside struggle now we take send those money.
In fact,
after they tax us for everything. So let them begin to pay that taxes too. And I trust Tinubu, he will squeeze everybody. Some men blockers go pause. This tax.
You know, say we go. They say diaspora to go pay tax. So I be not hear that one. Only. It's exactly say 9 people. So that's why I can say how they want to do collect the money. They go allow that. Then I want to say, make it do by diaspora voting. We will first see. Our money sweet to collect, but we not sweet to vote. And they look, I said they want to me no kuku. I no thank God. I no get name. I no get anything. The money when I be get for Nigerian bank account, they don't use fees collect everything. I dash them. I no even worry. I say okay, when I don't collect everything.
For money where I get for GTB, I don't live on there since how many years now? Since when they don't what did now this same Tinubu now even frustrate me. When you get what I want to say, if you don't do one thing.
Yeah, I be BVN or something.
Now I say, a few people make a woman leave the money there. I don't need that. Money is down. See, I won't make Tinubu stop.
Sorry, Mr. Monday, please can you mute? Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't even know say you get people for studio.
No, somebody just enter now, so the mic they on. Yeah, but it be like say don't mute the mic, so that's fine.
See, my sister, I want make Tinubu put tax on Nigerians in diaspora so that at least 70% of Nigerians in diaspora go first, they don't go send any money go Nigeria. That time, those were the night. I'm telling you,
That's
you
true.
see the revolution, not be that noise when she already make.
Yes.
The kind of when they go see. Now revolution will be said, Mama, when of you waka, you go carry popo, you know Morogun. If I don't show me anybody will be politician, I just go say, that's the kind of revolution when they go see. Make I allow my brother talk, Daddy, Mama.
Thank you so much, Brother Ben. I really, not true you talk, not true. That moment of breaking, they come. And maybe now go be the catalyst when go set everything in place. You know, it's because there's nothing Nigerians, you not get everything they never throw at them when they never fit absorb. I don't know. Now sit down look with monkey business. Mr. Monday, thank you very much, my brother. Brother Ben, I really appreciate. Monday, yeah, welcome. Oh, greetings. Your first time on my show, or
exactly? I just can you hear me?
Clearly. Thank you.
Yeah, so I just enjoyed the vibe and the previous brother that just spoke.
Uncle Ben.
But sometimes,
yes.
Yeah. So sometimes too, right?
Mm.
You see, not even paying the tax that is the problem. But I don't think the money we pay as tax can ever be like quantified to the oil money we make in Nigeria. You will not be do anything with the money we will do with oil money in Nigeria and some other minerals. That tax money that we will use to develop Nigeria. And sometimes also, you know, we are very gullible. Everybody just dey go and you try to speak. Me too, I know say I dey abroad. And sometimes now because we dey here, our eye open a little bit. If not, if you travel to Nigeria, it just be like say sufferness na part. It just is regular. Like what we go do now? You know, like this. You know, the last brother talked about. He talked about what did they call it? All this church and everything.
Yeah.
Where they do this thing. You know, see, me I see the talk and say, Momo anywhere where you go, whether they're abroad or they home. Because one, everything where they tell us for, even the church where they go, not tell them, they tell us. How many people they read their Bible, what they call, even both Christian or Muslim, how many people they read their Bible? But you see, our people they love their oppressors more than even the suffering they are going through.
Mm.
Because you see people defend their oppressors with their life.
Mm.
Nothing. If you go to Nigeria, it's just a pathetic. You just see too much struggling without result. Move from point A to point B is a problem. If you want to buy something, it's a problem. Customer service is a problem. And all what you hear, the apologies, no vex, or got no vex. You know, and there is much you can do when you are in abroad here. So my own concern is that it's not just the money you pay that is the problem. What are they doing with it? I just watch. There is a guy I followed too in Nigeria too. It was breaking down the tax reform that they are trying to bring now.
Right.
And World Bank, what's his name again? I think
is it Don Azar? Don Azar?
Yes, Don Azar. Yeah.
Don Azar is very good. Yeah, he's very good.
And I like his analysis. Like, he's very intelligent and
yes,
he's really in depth.
Yes.
Like when he started breaking this stuff for us like this, man, it's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Like, the money they come, but it just be like baskets where they pour water.
Absolutely.
It's just to make these politicians richer.
Yeah.
Not just the main thing with that. It's to make the politicians richer. Nothing more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you, it doesn't take too much to make a nation great. It doesn't take too much. It doesn't take too much to make a nation great. Because sometimes, just imagine if an individual can build his house with the little money he has. Imagine the kind of money that flows. I'm privileged to be in the government, so I know what I'm talking about.
Are you in APC government or?
No, I'm not talking that. I would say we are the soldiers that started fighting Boko Haram in 2009.
Oh wow! Are you serious?
Yeah, I went to Maiduguri.
Oh wow!
So when I see some of my colleagues that died and they chased their wives and children out of the barracks.
Oh wow!
It's so painful.
Thank you for your service. So wow.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. So we were the one. We saw the corruption. Do you know the kind of money they release to the military? You see, now I have friends that are generals that they say, do you know what they call Maiduguri? All these generals, do you know what they call Maiduguri?
No.
Maiduguri, where you know they call it now ATM. Guy, they don't post you go ATM.
Are you serious?
ATM. My friends, you know what it means to have $50,000 if you are in America. How can you even save it? The most bulk money we get here is maybe when we do tax return.
Okay.
Tax return.
That's true.
The lady bought F-150 Ford this thing. That my friend for his girlfriend. 50,000. He bought two, one for himself, one for the wife. $50,000.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Meanwhile, people they buy, they send people to go buy collateral damage.
I go Nigeria with my small tashere for my pocket. My friend attached me 5,000. Say hold this one for this week.
Wow.
5K cash. Don't be say my.
Wow.
No be 8 to 4. No be 9 to 5. I can tell you this one. They call Maiduguri. They call Maiduguri ATM. Military generals like ATM. You cannot imagine.
So meanwhile, they get that kind of money, now they even provide for the soldiers when they do the work. They not even pay them.
See,
they owe them.
You will not understand.
Wow.
You see, let me tell you, every Nigerian that is complaining that the government, might just tell you two things. One, every Nigerian, when the position of a politician is just not just one thin line that divide him and the politician, that because in turn overreach. Let me tell you, 99% of the Nigerians see what we see as leaders. Now, waiting our followers be. Because the followers now you go the leaders, any country where you see their leader, that who their followers be.
Right.
I was reading online somebody that already, I think it's like equivalent to Minister of Agriculture in China. He has left the government. They have left the government 4 years ago. They just discovered one fraud. $400,000. In execution this September.
I read about them. They're not they spend them. They're not they spend them.
4 years after. Abacha money waiting they take and do.
They take from again.
The one way Obasanjo go recover and everything, what did they can do?
They take from again.
Akpabio case since we be governor still the EFCC never finish.
Now that one they take now that one Tinubu take go approach now. You come and do anything I say.
It's just Akpabio they play game. It doesn't play like say the rubber stamp. So sometimes if you think about Nigerian problem, it's so tiring like it's so painful. Because the wealth we Nigerians get, I don't even see why we're supposed to be here.
until the people
You
rise
understand?
up. Yeah, until we rise up,
He
know what
had
we
made
dey do.
that. He had made these people rise up. I heard the last
Uncle
caller
Ben.
said when they don't tie their belly, they go rise up. They don't go rise up. You know that live out for God.
Now that they do.
Live out for God.
Now
God
that
will
they
punish
do.
them. Now lie you. They say hellfire. Some of us who will not chop Nigerian money, heaven will not show us.
I'm telling you.
And the people who chop Nigerian money, all of us go see meat for hell. Not true. We have to be. Sometimes people they say just to go church is enough, or just to pray is enough. You understand? So imagine a slap on the face. Made Tinubu's son they share thousands of Bible.
Kai!
It's control.
Yeah.
It's control. No be because we come like America or Canada or UK. You feel even look your geo doctoral before you they see I'm like semi God. You are looking at that person like a God. Anything the pastor says goes. You understand?
Yeah.
From primary till now, they have not even changed the curriculum of what we learn in school. Imagine Nasti Mungo Park now discover River Niger. They are still teaching them that.
I'm telling you.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the revolution, not be saying we carry stick, scatter everywhere, burn everywhere. Not be revolution. If they can do even a mind revolution,
right?
We need mental revolution first.
That's true. Transformation.
Who are we as Nigerian?
Yes.
A Yoruba man sees himself as a Yoruba man before he sees himself as a Nigerian.
That's true.
And Edo man sees himself as Edo because we are different nations. We should not deceive ourselves.
That's true.
And when the center cannot hold, every man
things fall apart.
Things fall apart. That is why you see, if a Nigerian goes to the federal or state, he's not afraid to eat Nigerian money because he knows if that money is Yoruba money, if that money is Igbo money, if that money is ethnic money, if that money is TV money, there will be a little caution because he knows it's my people. What does Nigeria mean in any language in Africa, in Nigeria, in fact, in Africa? What's the word Nigeria mean? Or Yoruba man, if you say what is Yoruba, you know what it means.
Exactly.
When they say Edo, you know what it means because we were nations, kingdoms before all this amalgamation of 1914 to come and bring us together from different. We are totally different people, but we can still work together. But until we have a mental revolution, we can't have. And no any revolution will work.
Right.
Until we agree that this Nigeria is working for us. And let's sit on the table. No town hall meeting, nothing. Government will just bring tax reform. I will not say I am against the tax, but I will say I am against the tax because I know nothing good will come out of the tax.
Of course, they're just going to use it to clean up again, to pack and put inside their pockets.
Not because we are paying tax here. And the last caller said, it's good, let us pay tax. Now lie, nothing. Nigeria not going to stand up. Hausa man still believe is Hausa. Yoruba man still believe is Yoruba. Igbo man still believe in Igbo. So Nigeria is just a stage for every other tribe to come and perform.
Okay.
After they finish, they retire back to their nation, their real nation. So Nigeria is just a platform for ethnic man, for Igbo man, for Calabar man, for Igala man, for Idoma man to come and perform his own script when they give up. You know, that is why it hurts you more if you are from a Yoruba man. Boko Haram kills him, it hurts you more. There are few people like we now that, you know, because of our training, we don't have religion, we don't have tribe in the military. That's how you are indoctrinated. So you are loyal to you defend anybody regardless of his name or his religion. But it's not like that. You know, me, I grew up in the north. And you know, people that are you sit and there are sympathizers. They are normal people, not that they are terrorists, but they are sympathizers of Boko Haram. They feel bad that they kill some Boko, they buy some Boko Haram. Let me use that, not use that word because of YouTube.
Yeah,
you understand? They feel pain because they are fighting, even if they don't have the mind, but they believe those people are fighting a cause for their religion. And it's just like the brainwash. Because if you go to the north, I'm telling you, you will just shed tears. You think there is poverty. People are in Lagos, they are crying of poverty. You go to the north. I grew up in the north. All my life in the north. And you will see level of poverty, level of ignorance in the north. So you cannot just imagine how a 15-year-old girl will just be given, sometimes 9 years will be given to 50-year-old man to marry. You know, we see people. My dad was a military officer too. And we used to see those our neighbors in the next flat. They'll just bring young 40-year-old girl. The girl will be crying at night. We were small that time. We'll be asking our mom, like, why is this girl always crying in the night? Sometimes she will run and come and meet my mom. She's like my immediate elder sister's age. You know, and a grown man like my father is married to that girl. Until when we start growing older, we say, oh, this is what they are doing. So it is very painful. It is. And these people don't care. After a while, make you look our face on national television. Say, if you people say we are thief, why are you people not stoning us? Why you not using stone to rock to just harm us? If you say we are thieves, because they know Nigeria will shout and go and pray and use so that Holy Spirit will destroy the politicians.
Prayer will not destroy, because the thing is that the government and the church, they're working hand in hand in Nigeria. The church is like the antidote to what the politicians are doing to Nigerians. So when the politicians will do whatever they are doing, take away money, like this tax that's coming now, the church will tell you, turn your other cheek. You understand? Forgive. Pray for your government.
Pray for your government. Hey. Always use scripture that fits their agenda.
Exactly. And then with this tax now, you're still going to pay your tithes. They will even tell you, in fact, this is when you should even pay your tithes more, so that God will provide more. Hey, God, Nigerians.
Thank God, say person even come. Sometimes you just wish to be back home. Sometimes you say, thank God I'm here. You know, as you said earlier, you know, the blood still flowing. You are still concerned.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you are talking, you see ignorant politicians who say they are there in America enjoying their life. Why are they talking about the affairs of Nigeria? Of course, we will have to talk about the affairs of Nigeria because we are Nigerians.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know, if we're quiet,
of these people.
Yeah, but if we're quiet, it gets, the funny thing is, all this one that we're doing, when we're quiet, it gets worse for the people back home. Because even the news now, they don't tell them anything. They don't educate them. They don't open their eyes to see anything. It is what they want them to hear. That's what they give them. You know, they sanction them heavily. If you're a journalist in Nigeria and you say what they don't want you to say, they sanction you. They will sanction your station, you know.
That's why they put all those cyber bullying,
cyber crime.
Nonsense. Imagine you can be cyber crime that doesn't even make no sense.
Hey.
It doesn't make no sense. So they just want to seal your mouth. If you cry, they'll ask you why you cry. and you are the one causing me to cry, but I cannot cry.
Okay.
You know, it's just unfortunate.
It is.
Look at schools. If you just drive, how many people you won't even help? I was in Nigeria in June. How many people you won't help on the street?
You help everybody.
My brother said, bro, just chill. You are doing too much.
Yeah.
I couldn't just stand it. The poverty, because Lagos to Abuja was good. Lagos was okay. Even when I got to like Kaduna, I went to Kano. Man, you just see, oh my God, you see generation just wasting on the street. Small children holding plates and begging. As soon as you drop to buy gas in the gas station like this, you see like 50 small children around you. They sing one kind of Arabic song for you around you.
Okay.
I'm telling you, so painful. You know, so painful. And you cannot even, and also why are they not adopting this? The guy that took me around said, man, they rather allow the children to waste that. They say, oh no, he's a Christian, he cannot adopt the children, because if they adopt the children are going to be converted to Christian.
Can you imagine?
Yes. And out of school children in Nigeria, 95% is in the north. You see children everywhere, but you cannot adopt them.
Okay.
Oh, if you adopt the child, that will give this child a better life.
They're not going to still agree. They'll say no because you want to change
even if you are, let me tell you, even if you are a Muslim, you are a Yoruba Muslim, you are a Igala Muslim.
Are you serious?
If you are a Muslim, they will not give it to you. And it is an intentional way to control people. So that these guys will be intentional way to control people, so that these kids will wake up and be non-entities. Because at the age of 9, 10, they've already started recruiting them into all this Boko Haram and all that stuff. Now Boko Haram's now it's like they are hero, all those little kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, my brother. You really shared a lot with us. Thank you so much for the
time. I really appreciate the time you gave to me.
Absolutely. And thank you for your service. So I'm glad that you're no longer there. At least you escaped, so you can live your life. I not blame you. Yes. Thank you so much. I hope you come back again and share with us.
Yeah, I will. I've already subscribed also.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go continue to shine the light for our people. Thank you.
Amen.
Have a wonderful evening. Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah. Mama Echo, let's have your say and then I'll wrap it up.
Greetings.
So
my senior boyfriend, they do a good job now.
Okay, no wala.
He's saying to reduce our purchasing power. He confused, said, when you don't reduce, you never reach. So we get to add another one. So we have to pay tax next year.
All of them inside in pocket they go now with all the children. So send now.
He's saying they give a state governor more money for them to continue to put into the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
The most painful one is the fact that some people will still be defending this stupidity. They give you 2,000 to buy data, to enter internet to the defend. Defend with it. And I'm hoping that maybe this Nnamdi Kanu will be the trigger, or the tax reform will be the trigger. But I'm glad that as they tied the knot, the pain they increase. Maybe we need more pain so that we can rise up. Because a lot of us really need our brain to reset.
Yeah, that's what Brother Ben is saying. Like, make it tight and make the rope tight well, because Nigerian they need that trigger. Otherwise, they're not going to do anything. People still even believe that even with that tax coming, Nigerians are not going. There's no limit to. We not get limit. Hey, God, I beg you. Hey, person go drag you like elastic. And nothing.
Our shock absorber. He never passed the limit, abi?
No. It has to give. It has to give. We cannot continue like this. We can't. It's
but
not
you
possible.
know that most of all this money, all this loan, it is obvious they are just deliberately keeping them to buy vote.
Of course. And not only that, they need their street boys too that will do the snatching, buying if necessary. Because the guy is pardoning criminals, hardened criminals, even the ones that kidnapped or almost kidnapped Ozekome, all of them. So lawyers, when they judge those cases now, and when they present those cases and the judges involved, are their lives secure now?
No.
I beg. Oh.
But wait to no be use the man talk say if he not do well, make una vote am out.
Do what I say, not do what I do. That's the case. He says, yeah, vote him out, but he doesn't mean it. You see what he's doing. Does he look like somebody who is ready to leave? He's not ready. He's putting all the necessary pieces together. You have so far 23 or 28 governors. They don't decamp go APC. They have decamped. So what is left?
If like say we won't get Cameroon beer for Nigeria.
Well, if Nigerians agree, make we get Cameroon beer. Otilo, make we forget the country. Now be that now.
Because if they don't want be Cameroon beer, how come his wife he be mother of the nation? His son he won't be youth president. His daughter he won't be Lord General of Nigeria. So, you not see the way that they indirectly tell us say they won't be the beer of Nigeria, just like Cameroon. And anything, anything, when he make them, if we foolish, we can't allow them to read themselves in 2027. They could just carry una joko, make una sit down, because the beer of Nigeria has just started.
Well, if Nigerians agree to accept that the beer of Nigeria, that's what they want, then who am I? I can only do so much. I go your fold hand, they look, sit down, look, now be monkey business.
Because Akpabio, the rubber stamp Senate House and House of Rep, they begin the mark and they go. All of them go begin they follow the beer of Nigeria to continue to stay in power.
Well, there's nothing. If that's what Nigerians want, then who am I to stand in the way?
If now both in Nigeria at home and Nigeria in diaspora, and I go feed the brunt, I not go give. By the time they cry, come say they never chop for days.
And now if you they listen to them now, how many? If you they give them all the money, you not fit chop for here. How you want to solve your own problem? Be you get who go they give you money when you don't you spend all your money to help everybody finish. You get who will give you money. Even the benefits when you get where they go do and reach, they will tell you say they're not fit again. So you go first think of it, you saving yourself first. Now the first law, you go first save yourself. If you not stand strong, you want to help people with waiting. Then I be say you ready to. So that's the thing.
I dey hear of
so much.
I dey hear of the medical, the health sector of Nigeria. I no understand that until I get someone in Lagos State General Hospital. Lagos State General Hospital. Sanwo-Ogbo. Upon all the money wey they make for Lagos State, the General Hospital of Lagos State, e no get needle, e no get syringe.
That's not new now. That's not new. That's not new.
When you enter, you go buy everything.
That's not new.
Wait, the funny thing is say, abeg o, Omoye, I wan understand one thing. Money doctor, he go prescribe medicine. He go draw blood for test. The next doctor, when he come take over, he go prescribe him own medicine. They go draw blood for tests. Abeg, when they wan find out wetin dey run for person body, na only blood test that they do, Omoye.
I don't know. I know the Nigerian hospital. I can't. I don't know. Nigerian hospital. That's what I'm telling you. It's not news. It has been a mess. Not be today. There are no doctors in Nigeria. Most of the doctors have escaped Nigeria. There are barely any professionals in Nigeria.
The person when I get, he don't spend 12 days. The 12 days, he did not draw blood. Maybe 3 or 4 days. Why they not draw blood? Now so I can't wonder. Share the doctor when he can't take over. You know they read the note when the other one. I think they know they drop note when
they use Nigeria American standards. Mama H rest that case. Nigerian does not. A whole minister left because he gets to be waiting. They say they do one. He don't go UK, go treat himself. A whole minister, people that are supposed to provide amenities for the people. I beg, my HO, leave that one. That one are old news. It's all over. We don't know that one. Tete, not be. Now people don't buy for Nigerian hospitals. Well, tomorrow is another day. I need to rest so that tomorrow I will get energy to take come out.
I beg, go rest because
thank you.
This matter when I talk so, na serious one, no.
Well, the one you fit do, you do. That's it. The person not going.
Person they complain of chest pain. Una not do X-ray. The first hospital when they take and go.
Mama Echo, you are repeating the same thing I just said. Nigerian hospital is 0. Even the ministers don't go to the hospital. You know hear of the woman when get belle, twins, when buy for inside in belle. Mama Echo, please, good night. I beg. Tomorrow is another day. Let me go and conserve my energy. And these people.
Tomorrow is another day.
I'm telling you, good night. So thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate. Yeah.
All right.
I'm telling you people, Nigeria, they don't care. Your politicians don't give a damn. They talk hospital. Hospital is. Have you seen the hostels at some of these? I saw a picture of which hostel now? I don't even remember. The place be like jungle. Hostel where human beings they live. It be like trees everywhere, filthy looking. Grass done the thing because you know when you not pack refuse, you don't they grow weeds, all kinds of weeds they grow. No care, nothing. I beg. We shall continue to talk. The one when I feel do, the one when my power reach, I do. My own be say, make the people for Nigeria, make they even get some recompense. Whether they go stand up next year when the tax hit, whether they will continue to do money is water too. It's not here we go look at. That means that their suffering never reach. Their cup of suffering never reach. When their cup of suffering reach, they don't tell them. They don't tell them 2 times. They go by themselves, get up. Everybody go carry waiting, get now spoon, no, now fork. Everybody go rise up. Until then, Now sit down look be monkey business. We'll continue to shine the light and continue to try as much as possible to educate our people. So maybe hopefully they will open their eyes and their mind and begin to understand. Because I don't know what else to say. I beg. So yeah, Alex Oti fixed some of those hostels. Kudos to him. My people, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. For those of you who were able to call into the studio, thank you. Brother Patrick, good evening, sir. Thank you for stopping by. I see what you write. Yeah, I know Nigeria matter, but the blood they run for person veins. Wetin person go do? Anyway, we shall continue to do the one we fit do. But thank you all so much for calling in. Monday, thank you for coming into the studio. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Really appreciate it. Michael, thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate. Yeah, I know. I be almost not want come this evening. No, I won't change the date. Now say no. I already promised. So but Uncle Beno they laugh. Uncle Beno, enjoy your time at work. Oh. I go see you now my next one. Have a wonderful evening. Please, guys, don't forget to shine the light on Nigerian issues. Don't forget to talk about it. There's a lot happening. The human lives at stake on the other end. Whatever we can do, wherever you find yourself, whatever platform, please do not hesitate to educate and sensitize and contribute in your own little way. They say little drops of rain make an ocean. Maybe somehow we'll be able to push the needle in the right direction. With that, we'll have a wonderful rest of the evening. Good morning to you guys. Good afternoon to wherever you are. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye.